I'm very weak in interviewing, and I absolutely must do much better. Other people are not as anxious as I am, and therefore they can get almost any kind of job they want. My anxiety is a terrible handicap, and I'll never be able to have a good career as long as I'm anxious. It's such a weakness that it makes me a totally incompetent person. If I didn't have it, I'd be okay. So I hate myself for having it. It makes me a real basket case. What must those interviewers think of me when I shake and tremble in front of them and give them the wrong answers to their questions? A total idiot. And they're right. Of all the handicaps I have in the world, it has to be this rotten one. People in business will despise me. My friends will look down on me too, knowing that I'll only be able to hold a rotten job like the one I have and never be able to make any real advancement. My own family sees how weak I am, since even with my education and experience, I'm completely stuck vocationally. I'm really hopeless, and people can easily see that I am and that I'll never get anywhere in life. Using REBT, you dispute these irrational beliefs and you come up with reasonable objections to them. You see that your anxiety is a handicap, but that it is not the worst thing in the world. You see that you are demanding that you be calm and unanxious at job interviews, and that this demandingness is actually making you anxious. You see the anxiety is a negative, especially in job interviews, but that it merely makes you somewhat incompetent, not a totally incompetent person. You see that your interviewers probably don't despise you for being anxious, and that some of them may not even notice how frightened you are. And you see that those who do notice may not exactly want you as an employee, but that doesn't mean that they think you are a basket case as a person. You see that it is wrong to hate yourself for being anxious. You should hate your anxiety, not yourself, and do your best to correct it. For if, you see, you hate yourself completely, that will make you even more anxious and will prove to you that you can do nothing but fail in job interviews. You see that your friends won't think much of your low-level job, but that they will hardly boycott you because of your holding it. You see that your family doesn't like your holding a poor job, but they still love you and accept you with it. You see that you have some real difficulties, but that even if you never conquer your anxiety about job interviews, you will not be a hopeless person who will get absolutely nowhere in life. Disputing your irrational beliefs helps you considerably, and you feel much better and determined to work on your anxiety. I am not greatly anxious about job interviews, and therefore I keep looking for a better job than the one I now have. I know what I know and have good job experiences, and I am sure that I can show this to the interviewers. When I don't answer their questions very well, I stop and think and make another stab at it. If I get really anxious for a while, I take my anxiety in stride and go on. Everyone gets somewhat anxious at times in job interviews, and I guess I'm no exception to the rule. So there's no use putting myself down for my anxiety, and I work at not doing so. If the interviewers don't like me, I realize that they don't despise me personally, but just think I'm not the best person for the job. If I fail at getting some jobs, I realize that my friends and my family will accept me as a person in spite of these failures and will not totally put me down. I know that most people fail at job interviews because the interviewers may speak with 20 applicants for each job that they actually have. So I'll keep trying in spite of my failures, and I'm pretty sure that one of these days I'll find the kind of job I really want and be able to keep it and progress with it. Write out this kind of optimistic and helpful sketch and go over it several times. Get it solidly into your head. See yourself as definitely less anxious and able to get through a job interview even when you are temporarily struck with anxiety.